welcome back, folks. We are out here in Wesley Chapel, Florida. This is the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament, and we're at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus for game number 5, as you can see. And actually, I have a brand new co-host who's also running behind the camera. Why don't you introduce yourself, friend?
It's Mike Zanetti. Thanks, Billy. It's been a long afternoon of games. You had both Saturday and Sunday. It's been a fun one. We had that overtime game earlier.
So yeah, Mike Zanetti's been running the camera for us. Also goes to Full Sail University at the Dan Patrick School of Broadcasting. Said he's in month 19 of 20. Almost finished with the program, man. I know that's got to be exciting.
Yes, sir. It's been a lot of fun learning from professionals in the industry and getting opportunities to do stuff like this behind the camera and now on the headset.
Hey, I mean, you know this, and I think a lot of people who work in sports know this as well. As you see that shot drained by Mr. Adrian Edgecombe. Reps are the most important thing. It's what's going to get you your experience, whether it's doing high school or professional. It doesn't matter. A rep is a rep. Just like the reps in this basketball tournament is so crucial for every single one of these individuals. And just an overview, folks, this Manatee squad played a skills center squad yesterday in what was a showdown to the very end. This Manatee squad nearly won, but had a couple turnovers go the other way late. And unfortunately, with some ill-advised shots, closed the deal for the skill center squad. And on the other end, we saw this one-body squad catch a victory earlier in what was a must-win scenario against a hoop squad, in which we saw them down by 10 and 9 at 2 different points. And fortunately for them, they pulled away thanks to what was a very strong performance from Aiden Edgecombe. Edgecombe had 28 points, and we even caught an interview with him at the end of the game, folks. So, with that being said, this is an elimination game. Whoever wins is moving on. We are done with pool play. This is elimination style. And with that, it is an 8-3 ball game so far for one body. But for you, Mike, you've gotten to watch a lot, obviously with us. What have you seen, maybe specifically out of, this one body squad? They were strong earlier.
Well, you mentioned Edgecombe. I mean, he was pretty much the dominant powerhouse earlier. And, I mean, it looked like every shot he wouldn't miss. Again, the dunks, we just saw a possession where the throw down. So there's just, honestly, the teamwork, the chemistry, everything seems to be falling into place for this one-body team.
And again, Edgecombe really just credited to his teammates, too, of just being ready and staying ready no matter what. And he said it was important, too, to shake off the losses despite suffering 2 of them yesterday in this tournament. And I got to say, it's a lot of good poise from a high school athlete. It's really hard to shake stuff off like that because it can really get in the way of your process. And also, too, it can just make you think a little bit less of yourself being a younger kid. But he's done a great job of that. Nonetheless, that was a previous foul coming at the hands of what looks like maybe it might have been Nerese Scarlett.
And the best thing about both these teams, even the whole tournament, we've seen just the competitiveness from both teams no matter what the score is.
Has been competitive. We saw a game go into overtime too earlier. That was the first time. The only game that's gotten away was the previous game with the athletes of influence in the skill center squad in the previous matchup. As you see Caden Wright checking into the game, and Caden Wright putting himself on the board early. 8-7, and after an 8-3 start, it's a quick 4-0 run for this Thunder squad. We got Nudis up top.
We've seen a lot of high-pressure defenses kind of now both sitting off.
And that high pressure, as you mentioned, playing a factor, and it played a factor in that drive coming from Andrew Ferguson. So Ferguson, he gets fouled. It's going to be on Caden Wright, who received that previous basket. That'll be the first team foul and the first foul on Wright. And now we'll get to see Ferguson come to the line for the first time today. 5 overall free throw shots for Ferguson in this tournament, and he has made 3 of now 6. Quick substitution coming in. It looks like the big man coming in is Jalen Bird. And Jalen Bird checks in for Caden Wright, who will sit down after receiving that previous foul. 9-7 is your ball game. Make it still 9-7. Thought that one was going in. It's coming back the other way with Horns. A kick out and a near steal opportunity. And guess who, folks? It's Edgecombe.
A little bit of a force of an extra pass there. He had the open lane, tried to make the extra pass for the corner. I like the idea, but got to take your baskets when you can.
And I agree. That was Elijah Price. We saw Price. He's one of the bigger individuals on the floor. The only one really matching him height for height. is on the other side of Andrew Ferguson, but Price had a shot, and I like the selfishness, but at the same time, sometimes you gotta take it, and none other than Jamal George taking that shot, folks. It's a 10-9 ball game.
Trading baskets from both teams.
Here we go, folks. That's Tyrese Scarlett going up, off the money, and another foul being called. We're getting some early fouls here, Coach. Here we go. And it looks like it's on 6, so they're going to call it on the most recent check-in in Jalen Bird. Second foul of the afternoon already. We're getting them kind of early here in the first 3.5 minutes.
Saw that through the first few games. There were a lot of free throws, and that's kind of what happens when you have all these stoppages. It's a lot of short time. A lot of timeouts late in the other game for the overtime, so just pretty chaos. And then the fouls early, they could be a problem.
Definitely a problem, and again, I mentioned it too to Jonathan and Jerome earlier. One of our games had 26 fouls in the first half, and that was later in the evening too. That was, I believe, the second to last game with the Skill Center squad. So it's definitely possible for some contact to be made, and some of these refs, depending on the staff we see, are either gonna let them play out or let them go to the line. But before we can do that, I believe we have a travel violation on the floor, and it goes back to the Thunder. So right now a 10-10 contest. It started off as an 8-3 advantage for this one-body squad. But the key notion here with this Thunder squad, they were down for about 87% of the game yesterday in game number 1 that we saw on this court. But they took a late lead by 5 and unfortunately gave it away. Nonetheless, though, it's a testament to the fact that they're going to play hard and they're going to continue being a nuisance in any kind of lead that one body's going to build. Up top, we got Price. He's working with George. Jamal George goes up, drives in, can't get it, and Price, he finally used his height there. Elijah Price with the finish. A 12-10 advantage now for the Manatee squad.
First lead of the day for Manatee. One body got to try and start slowing it down.
So none other than that, the first lead quickly goes away. It's a 12-12 ball game, folks. Zanudis. Hayden Zanudis can get going if you let him shoot, and he's got a shot off early. 11-17 remaining here. Some nice moves there from Horns. Gets his own miss. The right-hander just short. Price can't get it. Zanudis coming back. He's got help from Edgecombe. Ferguson to Scarlett. Kicks it out. Zanudis going to reset up top. We saw one body play well with the resets. Zanudis wants it himself. And he nearly got that shot to fall in. 3 defenders fighting over Ferguson. Here comes Bird. Nobody slowing down. Bird goes up, and somehow Bird gets it to fall. Boy, a great shot there coming from Jalen Bird. Edgecombe trying to respond.
Look at the fast pace.
Quick 3-on-2 here coming. Scarlett halts it, but not before he fouls.
You could see that both teams are just running the floor. I mean, it was not what we've seen in the first 5 minutes of the game. 5 minutes, they were kind of just walking it up, not much defense in the backcourt. Now you're seeing a lot more physicality for those loose rebounds, and they're going to only get more physical throughout the game. 14-12 lead.
It's kind of like a game of Battleship and a game of chess. You know, you target one area, and it's like your opposer decides to target the same area. If one team picks it up, the other team's going to pick it up. And a nice play there from a newly check-in player in Jordan Gibson. He checks in alongside Timmy Mercer, a.k.a. what I refer to as the Josh Giddey lookalike. So if you know Josh Giddey from the NBA, that's Timmy Mercer in a nutshell. There's Mercer. A little hesitation. Mercer goes up. How about the hesitation and drive? That's a big man finish from Mercer.
On the right hand, on the left side, too. Look at that.
Nothing like a little NBA action coming from Mercer, showing the development already at a high school age. Zanudis trying to respond. The follow-through was there, but not the shot. George with a 2-on-1. He goes up. Can't get it. Too strong. A fight for the board. It's DeWilt. And that will be DeWilt's rebound. He just checked in as well.
Great defense on that possession, and it's been a lower scoring game through these first 10 minutes, but that's the battle you want to see between these two teams.
18-12. Remember, it was an 8-3 ball game just moments ago, but one body has watched their lead crumble. Here's DeWilt again with the offensive board. And when we saw DeWilt last game, he had 3 fouls on himself, but this time gets a foul to go his way, and he will step to the line with a chance to shoot 2. That's 3, now 4 team fouls coming on this Manatee squad, and DeWitt will visit the line for the 4th time in this tournament.
As much needed free throws as well. Down by 6. Big lead. You mentioned 8 to 2. It was a good run, and then just gotta hit these free throws now.
Yeah, free throws have mattered a lot in this tournament, and I mentioned at the top of this morning and yesterday, 42% of free throws were made in the entire tournament yesterday, so clearly something to keep an eye on here. A lot of them have been made today. We're at 77% of free throws made throughout the day thus far, so a big improvement from the entire tournament. But with that, a much-needed timeout from this one-body squad, and Mike, it's a 20-12 advantage, and kind of like these other games, we see one team take advantage, but the tides have turned. The Manatee team, they've taken over.
It's been great to watch. I mean, that's basketball for you. It's a game of runs, and love the timeout by one body. They definitely need to slow things down. I would probably think they're going to go into some sort of a half-court, full-court press just to try and put some pressure on Manatee and just make them make a mistake.
I mean, you almost have to, right? And we saw a lot in the first one-body game earlier. They worked a lot through number 6 you see on your screen here in a moment in Aiden Edgecombe. Edgecombe had 28 points in game number 1. We got an interview with him earlier, and right alongside him as well as number 2 in Sammy Atari. These two are a nice 1-2 combination, but the key notion here, folks, both of them have been shut out thus far in the game. So a nice defensive presence coming from the Manatee squad, making life very hard in the scoring option. An outside shot coming from Tyler Vargas off the mark. There's Edgecombe, and there's a bucket that you need for one body.
Off the loose ball, too. Got to try and get it to your playmakers. They've been really good on the defense, Manatee, and here they come.
Here's George going up. Some nice defensive pressure from DeWitt. That was an offensive board from Bird. No foul call. Contact made. Here's Edgecombe again. The reverse finish in the up and under. Edgecombe back-to-back buckets. Here we go. George again. He trades a bucket. It's a game of cards.
Kind of spoken into existence. Edgecombe, he was shut out. Now he's coming alive here in the waning minutes of this first half. 8:30 left to play, down by 6.
And quickness breeds quickness, folks. A run has been sparked. Here's Zanudis. Oh, I thought that shot was good. DeWitt, another offensive board.
Just a monster.
Oh, my goodness. And DeWitt a bit frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been some contact. Even in that first game that we saw, there's definitely some chirping going between the refs.
And that foul did go on DeWitt. Now, I can tell he's frustrated. It's funny, though. He's got such a character in his face because every time he's in the paint, he's ruffling feathers with somebody, and as soon as he gets a foul call, you can see it in his face. He's not happy. So clearly not happy about that call. And going into the paint and making himself happy. How about it? It's Kendall Davis, folks. How about the foul and the finish?
Frustration continues for one body. 8-point lead now, and it was a slow start for Manatee, but they have found their rhythm.
They are finding a rhythm and really just working through each other. That's how they do it so well. Not really a one-player standout on this team. They had 6 different players score 10 points in yesterday's only game on this court. So it's clear there's a notion of a continuous team play and not just a one-player play. On the other side, too, we can say the same for this one body, but it's easier for them to rely on guys like Sammy Atari and Aiden Edgecombe. And right now, we've seen Edgecombe get hot, but can Atari get hot? They're gonna need some help, and they do get some help. This time, it's Tyler Vargas.
Seen a lot of loose balls that have just gone one body's way the past few possessions.
Here's Mercer going up. It's Bird and Mercer using that assist to his advantage. Bird's got a bucket. It's an 8-point lead once again. Edgecombe on the other end answers in response, and that is a big-time play from Aiden Edgecombe. Boy, folks, we have got a battle. It is elimination-style basketball through and through. Mercer up top. He's got Bird. Driving. Off the mark there. That was Kendall Davis. Zanudis loses it. Getting it back is Gibson. And a little bit of frustration coming on the other end of the Manatee bench. Zanudis Looks like he'll be called for that foul. It's going to go back to the Manatee side.
I'll tell you one thing, Billy. It is definitely March, and you love to see it between these two teams. Edgecombe coming alive. He had 18 of those points in the first half of last game, where it was more than half the team's points.
He had 18 in the first half, 28 in the game. Kendall Davis has a bucket, but could not connect. Somebody's got to get the ball. I think it went through the legs of Jalen Bird about 4 or 5 times, and it should go back to One Body. So that's a big possession here to make a stop. And One Body, if they want to stay within this small margin, gonna need a basket here. And I think Aiden Edgecombe might be the answer.
It's critical right now. 5-point game. Try and get a little bucket inside. No need to force a shot.
And not forcing a shot, but forcing the pass. And boy, you know, Aiden Edgecombe's making me look good right now with these calls.
Definitely.
Edgecombe was 6. Quick block there. That was Atari getting a hand on it from Mercer. Bird gets the board. The kick out and dish. I think another hand got on it from Vargas, and that should be a turnover.
Nice little layup from One Body. You did mention the forced pass. It was definitely close to be there, but they get it through. Find under the rim. Now it's a 3-point game. Set it up, slow things down, and get a bucket.
So that was Carter Belima that just checked out and walked off the floor. And now subbing in is Gavin Henderson, number 35 for the Manatee squad. He's going to be a part of this run as Davis watches it fall away. This could be the possession, and it is a possession to score. Edgecombe has 8 points now, 8 consecutive, that is, for this One Body squad.
Remember, this was an 8-point lead at one point. One Body went down.
The takeover is real for Aiden Edgecombe. Do the response. Somebody needed it, and it's Gavin Henderson, a 3 for the newly checked-in player.
The answer.
29-25. We got a battle, folks. 5.5 minutes. Edgecombe might have forced that one just a bit.
Can't make them all. I don't mind the look, but can't go down anymore.
And what an up and under by, oh my goodness, Timmy Mercer. Mercer using some contact and a little finish at the end.
The Josh Giddey lookalike. Getting in there.
He's taking some notes.
Looking like Giddey himself.
He's taking some notes, man. DeWilt, oh, a nice little pick and pop from, DeWilt.
I don't know why, but for some reason I thought DeWilt was going to throw it down, and he's getting so animated with these calls.
I love seeing him react to these fouls. He is always so mad. I'm sorry. Shout out to the DeWilt parents and relatives you're watching. Your kid's a phenomenal player. It's just really funny watching his face sometimes react to these calls.
That's the competitive spirit you love to see, though, in these tournament games. You don't want to ever not argue a call.
Not at all. Every call you hear is wrong, especially if it's against you. Here's a call that they want. They need a basket. They've got the ball. It's Atari, and the ball flies out of play.
There you go, Billy.
So it's going to be a throw-in from Zanudis.
Nice hands.
I'm trying. Trying to protect the equipment more so than anything. Here we go. Back in play, Atari. 4 minutes remain. This game is flying by, folks. We are nearly into the first half, and that one flies out of play, and it'll go back the other way to the Manatees.
A little bit of a miscue on that pass, and it's a tough look. Down by 6 now. Much needed possession goes to waste.
So a much needed possession there falls into the hands of the Manatees. This is a much needed stop. Mercer, he's trapped in the corner. He's got some help. Henderson can't get a hold on it, and it will go right back to One Body. How about that? You trade a turnover, you get a turnover. So, folks, we are right back to where we started. The first 3 games were back and forth. The previous game was a blowout, and we are back to a competitive natured game. This is an elimination game. Somebody's going to go home and buy McDonald's on the way home and have to think about this loss. But who's it going to be? Right now, the Manatee's in control, but One Body trying to return to form. And I believe that's going to be a timeout coming. Should be, if I'm not mistaken, should be on One Body. So it is a One Body timeout. 3:38 remains. And I think the strength here, I mean, we said it in our last break. Aiden Edgecombe. I mean, 2 words, folks. You're not going to forget his name. College scouts, if you haven't heard his name, I'd write it down and I'd continue to write it down because that is an impactful player coming on your team. And he's really carrying it all. I think, Mike, if I'm one body, I really think he's going to need a little bit more help because while he brought his team back, at the end of the day, it's not all one, right? You 100%. Can't rely on one player. You can get momentum, but you can't rely on one.
And if I'm one body right now, I am not disappointed. I'm not hanging my head on this first half by any means. You're still in this game. Despite the slow start, despite coming from behind, you're still a 6-point game. They are still in this one and can go in a half and talk about it.
Vargas might have heard the words of needing help. He provides it. Atari, offensive rebound, and there it is. Mr. Sammy Atari averaged 10 points yesterday, had 10 points earlier, and he's looking to cash in once again. A 4-point advantage. Vargas with the rebound. Here's the help we talked about. Zanudis goes up and goes just outside. You don't want to see that one slide. Davis.
How about that defense from one body?
Great defense from one body. And a travel violation, so despite the missed layup, it's a much-needed turnover for this one-body team.
That's back-to-back turnovers, too. Try and get some life now. 4-point game. They're in it.
This is the continuous pattern we've seen, folks. One team makes a run, the other causes a couple turnovers and gets a couple baskets. What does Atari do? He can't finish again, folks. Second consecutive time.
That's a tough go. It was a good look, good layup, just a highly contested shot.
It's a good high percentage shot, though. You knowing and seeing what we saw out of Atari, that's the shot you want him to take. Just unfortunate, but got to credit the Thunder defense. They're forcing a little bit of ill-advised shots and really just getting them out of balance and out of position. So up top, it's Henderson working with Davis and Belima coming back in. Davis kicking it out. There's Mercer. Mercer. He watches it roll out. A much-needed stop for one body, but Mercer makes another stomp on defense. Here comes Mercer. Kicks it up, going up and nearly getting the basket. Oh my gosh, Jalen Bird. He flew like a bird. What the heck?
The two-hand slam, just didn't have the ball.
No,
hanging on the rim.
He did not have the ball, but 27-31 is your score, and a chance now for the Manatee squad to extend the lead. We'll have a couple check-ins here in just a moment. Elijah Price going to check in along with Caden Wright. First opportunity is off the mark. We will have substitutions. Caden Wright will come in after the initial shot. Elijah Price should be checking in upon the free throw shots, and that will sit Kendall Davis down for the time being. A nice job to Davis. A couple boards and a couple baskets to start this contest. 2:12 remains, folks, here in the first half, and a 4-point lead thus far for this Thunder squad. Attempt number 2 on the way, off the mark. DeWilt with the board and a chance now, maybe a much-needed chance, but not before Mercer getting all kinds of air on that defensive play.
Beautiful defensive play. I love the idea of trying to run fast, especially with 2 minutes left, but get the benefit of the doubt.
Here we go, DeWilt cannot hang on. Look at Caden Wright, who just checked in. The fresh legs coming in and finishing nicely is Caden Wright. He wasted no opportunity after coming off the bench. Bird to Atari. Slapped away. Henderson goes up. Henderson goes in. It's a quick run and an 8-point advantage for the Manatee squad.
You see a lot of quick runs, especially at the end of halves, and it's just when teams get hot. Right now, this Manatee squad is unreal hot fire.
Quickness breeds quickness, and a quick shot and a nice screen from DeWilt. He created that opportunity for Zanudis.
And a good
Mercer
answer.
Up top.
Great answer from one body. Don't want to let this team go on a run continuously.
As we had some substitution confusion, and it looked like we got a basket, and I believe we'll have a free throw at the line. Should be for Elijah Price.
Well, and one off the glass, some contact underneath, and very quickly it has gone up to a great Manatee lead.
And we got to keep our eyes on this, folks. Again, it's an 8-point lead, a chance to make it 9, but it was just a tie ball game not too long ago. So just as fast as this Manatee squad can make a run, we can see one body do it. They did it earlier in their win. against a hoop squad that was so strong. They were down by 9 at one point in the second half, came back, secured a 5-point lead, and from there, they were able to secure a victory thanks to Aiden Edgecombe. Here's Stein, who just recently checked in, working with Scarlett. The foul cannot finish, but he will go to the line and shoot 2.
And you mentioned how they came back in that last game. I mean, we've seen a lot of that just competitive spirit, and just because it is a 9-point game, it looks to be out of reach. Got to see how the game's going. It has been a lot of runs, and it is not over by any means.
Nyree Scarlett, you see at the free throw line. He's been to the line three different times and has made 4 of now 5 opportunities. How about 5 of 6? And he does. So 5 of 6 overall from the line this entire tournament for Scarlett. And cutting a lead to 7, just needs one little stop here and maybe another basket chance for one body. George working on the other end, that's Belima. Price will put it back though, using the length, not even the height, it's the wingspan of Price, so impressive.
It's tough to see those offensive possessions go back and the second chance points from this Thunder team, and that is what's huge right now. And you gotta box out, gotta grab rebounds. It's been something that you could see that's happening.
And we got a delay of game warning on Elijah Price. Not sure, I feel like he just went up and put it back, but nonetheless, delay of game there, so you got to be careful on how long you take after scoring a basket. So one body unable to capitalize. This could be the capitalization moment for the Manatee squad, building a comfortable lead and building some momentum for yourself to hold on, because one body might come back at some point, so you need all the real estate you can get. The final 10 seconds, folks, as you watch with us, it's a 9-point advantage, and this will be the last shot of the half, whoever is going to take it. George goes up, Stein blocks it, George puts it back up, and Stein with a nice defensive effort and maybe a confidence builder going into this half. So despite quite the back and forth, it's been Manatee ball for about the last 3 minutes, Mike.
You mentioned it though, that's what you want to see going into the half if you're one body down in this game. A little bit of an underdog story, but I mean, we saw a game, the first game of the tournament actually, they were down 18 at halftime, and although they didn't come back to win, they cut that deficit very well, and it's just about learning what you can do to clean things up at halftime, limit the turnovers, maybe change some things up defensively, get the ball into your hands of your playmakers, and just go from there.
And a lot has been learned in this tournament. We're going to continue learning what these two teams can do, especially when they're tired and when they're playing with what's on the line. Folks, remember, when you lose now, you're eliminated. That's it. You have to ride home, think about this, and eat a burger and fry from McDonald's and think about the day that you had. Nonetheless, though, we're going to be learning a lot about these teams with this 9-point deficit with 4 minutes remaining in our halftime break. And with that, we're going to take a break, rest our voices, drink some water, maybe take a little siesta so we can be fresh and we can be ready to bring you some second half action. Again, Billy Adams alongside cameraman and co-host Mike Zanetti, folks. We are right here on the Florida Athletics Network, and we will be back right after this. welcome back, folks. It's the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament out here at the Wiregrass Ranch campus in the Pasco County area in Florida. Florida, you know, the Sunshine State that apparently has a big thunderstorm coming, unfortunately, folks. So, you know, drive safe, stay off of each other, and, you know, give some room. No big deal. I-4 will probably be backed up once again on this beautiful Sunday, but nonetheless, it's been a beautiful Sunday here alongside myself. I'm Billy Adams with co-host Mike Zanetti behind camera as well. We've seen quite the matchup so far in 4 of now 5 games. Had a blowout in the previous game with the Skills Center squad out of Tampa, but everything else has been decided by 10 points or less, and right now it's a 7-point lead. And Mike, we talked about it, this Manatee squad has been strong, but I feel like all it's gonna take from one body is a couple stops and a couple shots, maybe from Abercrombie.
100%, they started that possession with a bucket. Now they're, look at this defensive possession. And they got the shooting foul.
That's a tough go, that was good defense, but I think a bit more contact than was needed, and it's gonna be on Aiden Stein. And you can see the head coach of one body, he is not happy.
He definitely wants a word with the official, and we saw last game he was trying to argue a few calls as well, but
I think they're just discussing their favorite fast food restaurant, honestly. By the way, guys, if you're listening on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, comment your favorite fast food restaurant. Me personally, hear me out, Zaxby's. That's all I'm gonna say, Zaxby's.
Okay. I could get with
it's hated on too much because of Chick-fil-A, but Zaxby's is good, all right? Jonathan said he's a big Wendy's guy. Big Wendy's guy. Oh, Five Guys. Jonathan's a Five Guys. Pretty good, just overpriced, just a smidge. Oh, Jonathan's over here shooting buckets. Meanwhile, we got buckets being shot in front of us. Here's Edgecombe, folks. Oh, the same shot we've seen him take, and that one's just sliding off the rim. Oh, right, lost the ball. This should be an easy shot. Edgecombe goes up and makes up for the previous miss.
What Edgecombe does wrong, he will make up for it right after the same possession. A little missed layup. Hey, let's get a steal. I need that bucket back.
Also got to give a quick shout out, folks. We got Mr. Joe Philon over on the scoreboard, taking over the score on and off the court, as you have seen all weekend long. We'll see him in action just a little bit later as well. Once again, coming back the other way is Zanudis going up and laying it in as Zanudis. There's the quick run, folks, from the one-body squad.
We talked about it to end the half, but one body, all it takes is one run for this team, and they are back in rhythm. A little bit of a slower first half, but when that happens, normally that team bounces back in the second half. You've seen a lot of bad first halves in March Madness as well as high school basketball, and the runs and the bouncing back, it is just incredible to watch.
Common theme right now, folks, in this first 2.5 minutes played. This Manatee squad cannot, you know, get a run or possession going. It just seems like a lot of pressure is being applied from this one-body squad, especially from half court. You mentioned they might pick up the half or full court pressure, and they're starting to.
Definitely could be the defensive adjustments from one body that's throwing a wrench into Manatee's plans.
We see Zakarian Smith. He actually scored 18 yesterday in one of the games played, the one being on the other court. That was court number 4. He scored 10 on court number 2 over here, but nonetheless, his teammate's gonna go to the line. It's gonna be Jamal George, and the foul's gonna be committed by Aiden Stein.
Great shot by George. I mean, it was a tough foul to commit. It definitely was contact, and it was very difficult to let that shot go through, but a good defensive possession nonetheless.
So 45 to 37 is your score.
Trying to play a little hero ball.
And we might have had a goaltend. And make that 47 a bit of a discrepancy in the scoreboard, but now we got a 47-37 advantage. The largest lead now we've seen in this game so far, so the Manatee squad, just as they saw a run from the one-body squad, they've got a run of their own.
Could be very frustrating for one body as well to just keep eating at that lead, and then just to be down 10 now, it's very frustrating.
Down 10, Aiden Edgecombe, oh my goodness, folks. What a tough shot over 2, almost 3 defenders. That one took a while to fall too, but he finally gets one. It's 47-39. Biggest thing for one body here, they just need a couple stops that reciprocate in baskets of their own. Having a hard time finding the trade-off. Zakarian Smith up top, showing some prowess, going up just a bit too strong, and it's Edgecombe.
Edgecombe trying to play a little hero ball. He's had the last few possessions.
Spit strong, there's Ferguson helping his man and slinging it out and into the wonderful crowd here at the Wiregrass campus. Shout out to the wonderful people, the parents, the family members, and the friends attending today. We've had a pretty good packed house for the most part. I know last night, a couple of the games, we had most of the courts coming over to watch, so pretty cool stuff to see. This has obviously been one of the better courts with competition, so very fortunate to have that. 47-39 is the score. 12 minutes remain in this elimination game. Price, the turnaround, slips out. George, big man strength going up. George can't finish. Trying to get his miss once again, and it goes back the other way with one body.
It was a trend in the first half. The offensive boards, you gotta box out as they will give this possession to Manatee. It looked like he pointed for the one body, but now they're going back.
Another corner shot coming. That's Horns this time.
There's a good
Ferguson
rebound.
lost it. A good board. He lost it. They got it back. Zanudis, jumper. And I like the confidence in Zanudis. He's done that a couple times already today, but nonetheless, it doesn't work out. This is an opportunity to capitalize. George nearly lost it from Zanudis. Working with Horns, the lefter. Got it. And the lefty J from Horns is how we are going to enter into a timeout coming from the Manatee squad. A 49-39 advantage. And, you know, despite it being 10 points, I still believe it's back and forth because all we've seen and all it takes, Edgecombe gets hot, Stein gets good boards, and maybe, just maybe, Sam Atari starts to get going. But this Manatee squad, Mike, they're not letting it happen.
It's almost like anything you can do, I can do better. Edgecombe trying to cut the deficit, and it's just continuing to get good shots, get the ball moved from this Thunder team. And wow, I mean, what a game it is. And it's just kind of, you see that trend. If you get down at halftime, sometimes you just can't cut the deficit. And it's so difficult in these late second half games because now it's a 10-point lead. And again, trying to stay positive-minded in a game where you're playing really well in the second half. Good defense, moving the ball around. Edgecombe's making a few shots, but when it's a 10-point lead, you can't even think about that.
So a lot of time here to digress and really figure out how to cut into this lead for one body. Gonna have to make some plays and not turn the ball over as Stein somehow gets it to fall. Just in time, it's Aiden Stein, folks. I don't know how he got that one even out of his hands.
It's a huge possession and a great little pick and roll action from Stein, getting the bucket and the three-point play. Huge, and now we'll see DeWalt check in. Monster on the rebounds.
So Zachary DeWilt checks in. As you said, monster on the rebounds, one of the better offensive rebounders in this tournament. He is averaging per game 6.5 offensive rebounds. So he is very keen when it comes to second chance opportunities. And second chance opportunities, folks, might be the play here if they can't get their shots off because they have to do something in order to stay within 7 points. The deficit is 7, 49-42, under 11 minutes remain. And now it's just a chance to maybe maintain for this Thunder squad.
This is where the defense comes into play.
Not a lot of defense there up top. 2 putbacks, though, and the third time is the charm there for Caden Wright.
A lot of second chance points. That's all you could really say. We've talked about it. It's got to box out, got to get these rebounds and stop the points from Manatee if you're one body.
Here's Edgecombe. That's good defense on Price. Price, what a little move. And the step over from Price is good. Largest lead of the game, it's 11. 53-42, and you can see the confidence just exuberating throughout this Manatee squad. They can practically do anything, and unfortunately even commit fouls.
Just seems like one body has kind of slowed down a little bit. Edgecombe had that turnover. I don't know, Manatee just seems to have more fire.
Fortunate enough for them, though, you know, this Manatee squad and really this overall half, we've seen it kind of be clean. That was the first team foul of the half for this Manatee squad, and only 2 on the opposing side of one body. So really, refs just kind of letting it play out. Free throws really needed here, and that's a 1-for-2 trip from Scarlett.
Very clutch.
Coming down the other way, wasting no time is Landon Horns. So Horns taking about 3 seconds to get from one end to the other, and he puts his team back up by 12. Scarlett working with DeWilt, slipped out of his hands. Mercer down court and just a bit off the fingertips of Elijah Price. Oh, that was an open layup if he just got it slightly closer to the palm. Circumstances happen though, and that was a good look by Mercer nonetheless. He had the right idea. Looks like Balima's gonna check back in. So we wait to see who checks down, and it will be Landon Horns checking out. Great showing by Horns, getting a couple baskets already in this second half of play. He's helped his team lead up to 12 here with 9:34 remaining.
There's just two different teams on the court playing the ball right now, and Manatee's moving the ball around, getting inside, and one body's just trying to get one going as there's a three.
Much needed three, and guess who? It's Aiden Edgecombe, folks. If somebody's gonna get it going on this team for one body, it's gonna be Mr. Edgecombe. He's got 12 points in this contest. Some movement coming, working with Price, and it works. Back up top by 11.
The continued response from the Thunder, they just are not letting the lead go down at all. They're just matching one body right now.
Here's Zanudis, he's working with Atari and Edgecombe. Edgecombe takes the screen. You see DeWilt working against three different bodies. DeWilt fighting for it. Mercer relishes the contact, gets it over. Wright goes in, blocked up by Atari. Wright gets his own miss and puts it back. It's Caden Wright.
Again, another offensive rebound, the block, and just got to try and play some defense. There's a rip.
There's a rip, and a foul is going to precede it. But how about Caden Wright? A couple offensive rebounds already in this half and a couple points scored thus far. That foul should be on Elijah Price.
Got to give credit to Manatee as well for just finding a way to shut down the one-body offense and Aiden Edgecombe. This is a tough team to beat.
Tough team to beat. Edgecombe does have 12, but at this point you would expect them to have more. And even on the inbounds, you see DeWilt grimacing, having to earn every single time he gets possession of the ball. Zanudis will work up. You see Mercer face guarding the defense. A nice pass. Oh, DeWilt wasn't paying attention. Mercer on the other end, working with Price. Feeds to Price, and a nice dish and awareness there from Timmy Mercer. Zanudis left all alone. That's a shot you want every time, just did not fall. A lot of contact. Zanudis gets the miss. There's a shot from Edgecombe. Bang! Where is Mike Breen? That is a bang, and that is another shot from Aiden Edgecombe. Price tried to do it himself. Gibson checking in. Bolima working. And it looks like we have a line touch, so it'll be out of bounds. And maybe, Mike, we saw this lead go as high as 14 moments ago. But now, after a most recent three and now a turnover, this, with 7:30 remaining, could be a chance now for one body to get on the right track.
I mean, let's just go back to that Edgecombe three real quick. I mean, he just can't miss. The corner threes are there, and if you can keep giving it to him for three, there you go.
They have got to keep the ball in play, though, because they have had issues with turnovers.
Very much.
As it looks like we have a foul, and that's going to go against Carter Bolima.
You saw just a few possessions ago, the little miscommunication from DeWalt, and then the Thunder just taking advantage off the fast breaks, points off turnovers, points off rebounds, and second chance points. It's been huge.
We got Jalen Bird checking in the big time prize, and Elijah Price going to sit out. Price having an excellent game. Couple putbacks, couple baskets already in this second half. Here's DeWilt up top. He's got Caden Wright, who's had a phenomenal game as well.
Look who it is.
Edgecombe up top. Mercer, I think, is going to be called, and it will be Timmy Mercer. Should be his second foul of the game. Fifth team foul already in the half coming for the Manatee squad. Here's DeWilt up top. Caden Wright, what a cut by Edgecombe. Going up, and not before he was fouled. That was really close. I'm not sure there was a ton of contact, but... Oh, they're going to call it on Mercer. They call it on Timmy Mercer. I thought it was going to be Jalen Bird.
There's definitely a little contact down there, but I mean, I love the ability to just draw the foul, stop the clock, and take these next two free throws and regroup. Missed the first one. It was definitely crucial to try and get back in this game with a 12-point lead, but Edgecombe trying to will this team.
So Edgecombe, unsuccessful on attempt number 1, is on attempt number 2. Jamal George waiting to sub in. As Timmy Mercer up top, he'll more than likely sub in for Mercer, who's got 3 fouls, unless otherwise. Mercer, though, having a solid game. He's had a couple steals and a couple putbacks of his own. Under 7 minutes remain. This Manatee squad looking to just kill a little bit of time as Gibson fires too strong. Belima had the offensive board, but the right place at the right time isn't enough. Here comes Scarlett. Edgecombe, no surprise. Off the back iron. The rebound. Vargas gets it. Atari resets. Atari against Belima. The same shot from Edgecombe. Gibson back the other way. Goes up. Vargas can't get it. And finally, Jalen Bird flying like a bird to the rim, and he'll put it back.
I don't think I have to say it. I've said it a lot, but another offensive rebound and a score, and it's been the game changer for the Thunder.
13-point advantage now thanks to a Jalen Bird putback. Offensive boards have been crucial coming from this side of Manatee, and that's a defensive board and a foul going towards Jalen Bird, and they should be calling a foul on what looks to be Nyree Scarlett. So just the 3rd team foul coming on the side that is one body. 16 fouls over on the Manatee side. Very interesting, despite the 6-to-3 foul ratio, still a 13-point lead coming for the Manatees. Gotta say, Mike, you've done a nice job maintaining despite the fact that one body occasionally gets these small little runs.
They get a lot of runs, and I mean, credit the defense from Manatee, just being able to stay with it, put the pressure on, and the turnovers have been huge.
Another foul, and I think they're going to call an offensive foul, and they do.
Yep.
Jalen Bird, I guess, with a moving screen. And with 5:39 remaining, it goes right back to one body. We are reaching that crunch time area of the game where if you want to run and you want to stay within striking distance, got to start making some stops and making some crucial baskets. It's time for one body.
Now or never.
Atari working up. He's got DeWilt. That pass was tipped up by Wright. DeWilt going to take it himself. Jersey grab and all. And I think I saw DeWilt say something. Probably said, finally getting a call.
It looked like he went inside, gave him a little shoulder chicken wing action, getting the foul, drawing it, and could have been going either way, but able to get inside, get a foul, and he's fired up about it.
I mean, I got to say, you can see the back of the jerseys in their names. I saw about half his name on one side and then his jersey stretched on the other side. Definitely some contact down there in the paint, but that's something that's not very uncharacteristic, especially for a player like him. He's pretty much drawing it at all times. He makes that first attempt and makes the second attempt, and that was much needed. Down by 11, but again, continue dwindling into the lead. You got 5 minutes here.
Still a lot of time, but got to start going on that run that we talked about that they're very capable of doing.
Gibson somehow fighting through. There's a stop. Edgecombe, he's the guy going up, and the reverse finish is good for Aiden Edgecombe.
There's the start.
14 points, nearly got the steal, stays on his feet, and
there
finally gets it back. There it is, a 3-on-2. This could be a possession. Atari goes up and does not go in. We got 4 players fighting for the basketball.
And it'll go the other possession arrow. Thunder ball.
Boy, that's a tough go. That might have been one you needed. You're down by 9. You could have made it 7, and that's unfortunate.
Definitely a missed opportunity, if you could say that. I mean, it's a tough shot, tough little force, but 9-point game now. It's still anyone's ball game.
Got 4 consecutive points right now, so a couple straight baskets and stops. They need another. They might have gotten another. That ball going up, tipping up. DeWilt fighting. Who's going to grab it? It's on the ground once again. Vargas finally ends up with it. Here comes Vargas pushing up. Zanudis with the 3. Jumper is money. 6 points is now the lead. It was 13 moments ago.
We talked about it. One body can do this to you. The runs, you can't stop.
Needs another stop. Bird tries to save it.
Another turnover.
In the hands of Zanudis. Here goes Scarlett. Puts it up and puts it in, folks. A game changer is what One Body has committed to. 9 consecutive points unanswered, and what was a 63-50 advantage has now shortened to a 63-59 lead.
What's that?
What is happening?
9-0 run in about a minute? I mean, that's incredible.
9-0 run with 3:56 remaining.
And this is why you can never count out any team, not only just One Body, but I mean, this is basketball for you. 4-point game with 4 minutes left. This is a ball game all of a sudden. I think the biggest problem was the turnovers from the Thunder and just the high pressure from this One Body team. And wow, I mean, what else can you say?
Some second life coming from this One Body squad, not just on the shooting, but they are picking up the pace tremendously, forcing some fast-paced shots that it seems like the Manatees are just having a hard time tracking.
Here comes the full court.
Full court pressure, maybe it's needed. Not as high pressure, just enough to cause some disruption. See Zacharias Smith checking back in, he kicks it out. Jamal George up top.
And this is what you want to see. You want to see Manatee take their time.
Guarded by Vargas, George goes up, and what a finish. If the Manatees needed a basket, it was that.
Beautiful finish through the contact, and I wasn't expecting it, but able to get 2 points back, and it's huge.
Here comes Scarlett. He's trying to cut into the deficit. How about that move from Nairi Scarlett?
Okay,
the
what a
unbalanced spin. The finishes are relinquishing, folks. Everybody's making a basket right now. Here comes Smith. He's going up. And we might have had a foul on the floor. It'll be a foul on Nairi Scarlett. That'll be his third.
They're going to call that shooting as well. It was a little, looked to be in the process
Kind of thought it was a process before. Yeah, he was moving. So it will be a foul going on Nairi Scarlett, his third. It's going to be the team fourth of this half. And then shooting the free throws, of course, is Zacharias Smith.
Coach is still trying to argue this call, and can you blame him? It's definitely crucial with 3 minutes left, down by 4.
You know what they say, ball doesn't lie.
There you go, the 2 misses.
0 for 2 on the attempts, that's huge for One Body. 4 points, folks. This could be a 1-possession game in a few moments. Fighting for it, Zanutis, Zacharias Smith, and just stepped out.
That could have been a recipe for disaster.
And I know he's frustrated. That was the accurate call. I know he's frustrated, but that was good defense by Zacharias Smith.
Good eyes by the official, and that could have been the opening the floodgates for the Manatees.
I will say, though, had Zacharias Smith gotten away, there was nobody, not even Edgecombe was going to chase him down. He was determined to get to that basket. Here's Scarlett up top. Some good defense coming on the other side. Zacharias Smith fighting for it, and after the turnover, he will draw a foul.
Very physical in that corner. That's what you're going to have in these close games. Everyone's going to try and fight for the basketball, but just looked like he tackled him on that possession.
Got a note, too. Here's an advantage that's going to come towards the One Body side. 9 team fouls coming on the side of Manatee, so bonus free throws every single time from here on out. It's guaranteed 2.
That's huge with 2:46 left. You don't want to be in the bonus this early if you're the Manatee, and that's a miss.
So he missed it. It was actually a 1-and-1 by mistake. I believe it's 10 that we go to the automatic 2, but nonetheless, the 1-and-1 does pan out for the Manatee squad. Here comes George. Jamal George driving to the basket in a much-needed break for the Manatee squad.
You see DeWilt's face. I mean, he does not like that call. Definitely trying to argue it, but there was contact.
And they did call it on. They called it on Vargas, but yeah, funny enough, DeWilt did have a little bit of frustration there with that call once again.
Argue for anything. I mean, it was
for
definitely
anything
close.
And everything at this point.
It's win or go home.
Win or go home. You can see it in the attitude of these players, folks. I mean, nobody wants to go home right now. Everybody wants to continue playing, and we are going to continue playing here for the next 2.5 minutes. Somebody has to win this ball game. Remember, it was a 13-point lead for the Manatees at one point. Zanutis up top. Had some help, decided to take it himself, and that's great defense by the Manatees.
Great defense indeed, and what looked like a big spark on that 9-0 run in about a minute. has completely diminished.
There's George. Full court pressure does not work. Zakarian Smith smartly takes it up. Smith getting through 2 defenders, takes it himself, kicks it out.
Uh-oh.
George
Didn't take it.
decides to kill some clock. Interesting play here. Maybe the right one. Who knows? Zakarian Smith gets it back. And a tough basket. How about a tough steal by DeWill? Just ripped it out of the hands of Elijah Price. Here's Zanudis. Can't put it back. Price has it. Working with Horns. 1:30 remains here in this contest as Price can't get a hold of it and it falls out of play. It's going to go back to the one-body squad.
So not taking that 3 and potentially missing burns an extra 30 seconds. And I mean, both possessions back and forth game. And honestly, it's not the worst decision. You got 5-point game, save some clock, be conservative. And now a timeout from one body.
Might be a much-needed timeout, really, to figure out what kind of shots are we going to be taking and how close are we going to cut this lead on this possession. And also, too, I mean, you can see some of them are panting, some of them are just breathing a little hard. They might just be kind of gassed at this point. But you know what? They've been playing all day today. They played all day yesterday. And despite what could be a lot of attrition, they're holding up well, and so is this Manatee squad. I found it interesting that the Manatee squad, you know, when pressuring the paint, they've been doing very well today, but they were holding the ball for a long time those last couple possessions. I thought that was an interesting change.
Definitely, I think we've seen it with a couple other teams where it's just you want to hang on to the win, and 5-point lead, why not try and be conservative, save some clock?
So saving some clock, they did. They took 1:15 in that one possession off of the clock. 1:25 remains. Still plenty of time for one body. They are gonna need a shot here unless the Manatee squad can stop. Zanudis takes it and got it. Deja vu from a couple games ago, folks. How about that 3 from Zanudis?
That is big time. Minute on the clock.
Here we go. Elijah Price with Horns. They're unsure as to what to do. Some good pressure coming. Zanudis. He lets White go by. White's going to dribble it out. They could theoretically take it. Zanudis tried to steal it. And finally, that's going to be a foul. And it looks to be on Nerese Scarlett.
We mentioned it, but they've been letting them play most of the game. And the contact there, they're definitely reaching in. That got a little bit of the arm. So you love the pressure from one body in that defense, but 51 seconds left. You don't want them to hold it at this point in time. But you can't let anyone open for an easy basket either.
Not at all. Here we go. How good of defense can one body present? And another foul coming that should be on Atari.
That'll be the bonus. So a 1-and-1, and honestly, I'd rather have 45 seconds than try and play some hardcore defense. A shot with a 1-and-1 here, maybe you're down 4, but I'd rather try and play that cat and mouse game with the fouls and trying to make my way back unless playing that full court defense, because it's tiring. And if you get tired on defense, the offense isn't going to come.
Not at all. And, you know, the Manatees have not scored in the last 3 minutes of play, have really just been holding the ball. So maybe a much-needed basket for them. And Horns is able to convert.
There it is, nice free throw. I mean, that's what you got to do in these situations. If you make your free throws, more often than not, you win the game.
Wasn't really a prediction earlier, but we all talked about it. Free throws were going to be the name of the game at some point in this tournament, and these are some of the biggest free throws we have seen in this entire tournament. Horns converting to make it a 2-possession game, and he does. Nice. Big free throws, big time from Horns. A basket needed from Atari, and one body's going to call a timeout with 41 seconds left. And some ongoing conversations with the Manatee coach and all the players. 41 seconds remain, 68-64.
Just listening to her, you could hear.
I wonder if you get. I hope you guys can hear her. She is definitely animated.
I mean, you have to be, though.
As you have to be.
13-point lead with 5 minutes left on the clock.
I would be frustrated as a coach, too. Yeah.
And, I mean, the defense has to be there, and she was calling him out on it.
As she should.
Gotta be in on that, but 41 seconds, and a crucial possession for one body. I would say a quick 2 and quick foul for a 1-and-1. That would be a good opportunity.
Well, Edgecombe's got the ball, and he's working. We've seen Zanudis take a couple big-time threes. Another big-time three. They're going to get it back with Atari. That's a huge offensive board. Here's Stein. Vargas, he thought about it. Got it to Edgecombe. Phenomenal defense coming.
You don't need a 3 there.
Edgecombe just forcing a shot.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't really need a 3 there. It's a 4-point game. A 3 doesn't even do you any good. Try and get it inside. Take the easier basket and make it a 2-point game with a chance to, with a 1-and-1, potentially 1 make, 1 miss, or a miss, and you get the ball back. I don't know, Billy.
Yeah, that's a questionable call. I could see where he's coming from. I think the shot selection could have been better.
Right.
You know, as anybody would want the shot selection to be different in that case. But yeah, that's a tough call. And despite the 1-and-1 there, I think the Manatees are going back to the line. And folks, it's slightly looking like it's leaning towards this Manatee side.
It was crazy, though, because they didn't really even try and pass it inside. They were just looking outside on the 3-point line, and they got the offensive rebound. I was like, okay, this is perfect, set it up. And then you had a big shot out there and just couldn't connect. So now a 5-point lead with another chance to extend.
Free throws continuing to be a deciding factor, extending that lead for the Manatee side. And that is Kendall Davis at the line, making the first, missing the second, and a huge offensive rebound coming for Elijah Price. And a kickball violation, but that's not going to matter, folks. Still a 5-point game in possession on the Manatee side.
We've seen crazier finishes.
We have seen some crazy finishes, folks. Even a buzzer beater. Anything can obviously happen. Trying to force a backcourt. That was pretty close, but not enough. And that should just about do it.
3.5 remaining.
And I think we had another foul right before time expired.
Yeah, we'll just try and shoot these couple free throws. I mean, earlier, the overtime finish that we saw, there was 1.4 on the clock, and the winning team had the ball, turned it over, the 3 to tie the game. That was incredible. But, I mean, with 3.5 left, it's definitely going to be a tough task unless you can somehow make a 3 and then get a foul and then get another bucket. So,
I mean, we've seen it happen, and it's happened, you know, in the middle of a game. But nonetheless, I think that is going to do it, folks. Zanudis throws it down, and just kind of a heave of a goodbye, basically. That's going to be it for the one-body squad. And this Manatee squad is going to take the victory, folks, 70-64. And that is going to conclude today's contest in game number 5, folks. What a barn burner. 70-64, back and forth. We saw a lead as high as 13. The Manatee squad, though, Mike, doing a tremendous job holding on to it despite facing some adverse conditions, with one body getting some runs.
A lot of adversity, and you got to give one body credit for hanging in there. Again, 13-point lead that they came back from. Hold your heads high. Be proud of what you accomplished and getting this far in the tournament and the elimination game. It's unfortunate how it ended, but again, a couple things to clean up and just learn from. Again, it's showcasing your talent. What can you guys do? And I mean, it's incredible from a lot of performances, and being able to be in that game says a lot.
Well, guess what, folks? It's not over. 4 minutes until our next contest starts, and it's going to be a good one. It's championship time with the boys' 9th grade championship. We got a skill center squad. We got another Manatee squad, this time the younger in the 9th grade gentlemen. So somebody in the 9th grade's got to win a title, and we're going to find out in just about 5 minutes of time. Again, I've been Billy Adams alongside Mike Zanetti. We have been taking you through today's Game 5 action. We are going to continue to do that right here on the Florida Athletics Network in just a few minutes. We'll see you in a few.